So here's a little visual example. You have two power plants. We'll say they're coal plants producing electricity, and it's hard to see, but that's CO2, right? That's CO2 in the little cloud above them, okay? And so they're producing the same amount of CO2, all right? Next. Then, the next year, 2012, one of them, either through technology or through the reduction in their sales, okay, are able to reduce whatever their output is. And so they reduce their CO2 production. Another one, for whatever reason, okay, maybe they've decided they're just going to go on the market and buy the emission permits. Theirs actually increases. What they have to do is buy their permits. It'd be kind of a gamble, okay, and so that's why everybody's going to strive to actually cut their CO2 production, which is the goal of the government, is to get the CO2 production way down. If you remember on the goals, the idea was by 2050 to have reduced it by 80% from the 2005 levels. Okay. So what can you do? Well, in the long term, okay, some of it's directly up to you. Okay, as far as the nation goes. If you're okay with all that, then you don't have to do anything. Okay, if you're concerned about it, our representatives do listen. Okay, they need a lot of us to talk to them, but they do listen, and you should be in touch with your representative. Whether you like it in different levels or not, you should always be in touch with your representative and let them know, hey, I like it, but it's going too fast. Okay, or I just don't like it at all, and I wish you'd do something different. But that's one thing you can do is again, be in touch with them. Again, our concern is that it could be a little aggressive as it is. Next. Now, we mentioned it before. Now, there's something else that you can do, that we can all do, and it affects us right now, and it affects you, that your actions will actually, take care of you, and you can do something about your situation right now. One of the ways to reduce what we call our carbon footprint, reduce the CO2 production, is to actually not use that next kilowatt hour. So as we've talked about conservation, that's one thing you can do. So if you can reduce your energy usage, that will reduce, okay, the CO2 production or the carbon dioxide production. Here's how your energy dollar is split up. 55% of your energy dollar is split up, goes to heating and cooling. If you do anything to reduce heating and cooling, you'll cut back on your energy usage the fastest. The second one, and this was a surprise to me, okay, and Cindy referred to it a while ago, lighting. You reduce lighting, that's actually 20% of your energy dollar. All your appliances together is about 15%, and water heating is about 10%. We normally think of the water heater as being a big one, okay? When actually it's the fourth one on the list. It is a big one in that it's one item, okay? And by replacing that one item or doing something about that one item, you can make a big difference in your bill. But when you look at it in groups, when you look at all your lights in the house, lighting actually comes in second. The first and biggest one is and always will be heating and cooling. Okay, so now, with that in mind, what can be done on a conservation basis? Well, as we talked about, get more efficient motors. More efficient motors that run your heat pump, okay? Or any kind of motor that you have. Efficiency keeps increasing. Technology keeps getting better. And we have some motors and some information out there and some things that we can do that again, makes us just more efficient. Again, heating and cooling efficiency, a wise use of your thermostat. There's some thermostats out there that are pretty smart, okay? You can get that, and they actually prompt you by asking questions now. When are you going to be in the house? When are you going to be gone? How many people are going to be in the house? When would you like it coolest? When would you like it warmest? Okay? Or you can just find just use the thermostat you've got, but just be very wise about your adjustments on it. And again, you can cut back on that energy usage. Again, efficient equipment, and then make sure you have adequate insulation. And then the lights, CFLs. Okay, I just can't talk enough about that. That's one of the quickest and least expensive, and it's not cheap. Okay, but it's not like replacing a water heater or replacing your central air unit either. But it's something that you can do pretty easily. You don't have to call a consultant. Okay, you don't have to call a professional. You can go down the store and you can buy these CFLs. Now, if you're like me, the first time I did it, I hadn't counted the lights in my house. Okay, so I went down and bought a pack of 16. That took care of about 2 rooms. So it's more than what you think. By the time I got done, I had a bag, and I mean a really big bag of incandescent bulbs. Now, sometimes I can be pretty tight with a penny, okay? And I saved those bulbs until I moved, just so you know. And just saved them. They were good. But I didn't ever use them, but I started saving money. My wife and I started saving money when we went through and replaced all the lights with those CFLs. Someone asked, they said, well, what if, I said, did you replace the ones in the fan? Then you have a fan in your ceiling, you get the little 4 lights that stick out, and they're those little curly, the CFLs are little curly lights. I went, yeah, I replaced those. And some people go, gosh, they just don't look like the others. And we never had anybody ever that came into our house and just sat down and stared at our lights because they were ugly. Okay, it just never happened. People don't see those, and we were happy because we were saving money. And then appliances were the next one. Be careful when you buy an appliance. Make sure don't buy one that's too big. It's bigger than what you need. Okay, buy the most efficient one, and then if it's an appliance that doesn't have to be on all the time, again, you have it on only when you need it. Okay. Water heating, highly insulated water heater. If you've got an old water heater, it really may pay you to replace it. But get one that's highly insulated, and then something that few people think about very often is it too hot? Do you keep it at the right temperature, or can you live with it being a little bit, I'll say less hot? You still want it hot, but just less hot. And then monitor your energy usage, okay? Just like in driving your car, okay? You know how your car runs, and you know how the cost is going before you go fill up, because you're watching that gauge all the time. If you'll go out and read your meter, it takes a little effort, but just go read your meter, and read it every day, read it every other day, you'll see the kind of effect your actions are having on your energy usage. You'll see the kind of effect it'll have when you only wash a load of clothes, if it's a full load of clothes. If you only dry a load of clothes, when it's a full load. You'll see that kind of effect on your meter. Now, if you'd like to, at Steele Waseca, you can call, and we'll give you a printout. It'll be a daily printout of your usage on any particular meter that you have with us. By the time you get that, okay, I mean, it can help you. You may be able to look back after throughout a month and see your daily usage, and it probably will still help you. And if you'd like that, just give us a call and we'll provide that to you. But the best thing is if you're watching it just every day. And the last thing, okay, is again contributing to green power. Christy talked about wind power. You can do that. Okay. Now you're going to have to look at. That will help make us greener. All right. The more wind power we have, that are any renewable, solar, whatever, it will make us greener and will make America better. Okay. There is a cost to it, and so you'll want to evaluate whether that cost is worth it for you. The other thing, Christy mentioned it, is the wellspring opportunity. If you want to contribute to green power, but you don't want to do the big bucks to put up your own wind generator, again, give us a call. Okay, for 40 cents for every 100 kilowatt hour block, it's you pay 40 cents for every 100 kilowatt hour block, and that will go toward wind power. Let's see. Now, that kind of covers cap and trade, the kind of effect it's going to have. It will be expensive. It's designed to be that way in order to reduce CO2 and make green power more affordable.